So in today's video, I want to talk about what I think is the best travel drone in 2024. And if you've been watching this channel for some time, you probably know that the drone that I'm talking about is the Mini 4 Pro. And there's a lot of reasons I think this is the best travel drone. But that said, you might not find the Mini 4 Pro to be the best suited drone for your needs. And to be honest, all the other drones offered by DJI is going to be a good travel drone. It just depends on how you want to travel with the drone and how much work you want to put into it before you travel. At the end, they all have somewhat the same design, which makes it easy to fold and carry around on your trips. But the advantage of the Mini 4 Pro is of course going to be the size and weight. Whether you go for a hike or just explore new locations, having a small lightweight drone can be hugely beneficial. Not only will you have less weight to carry around, but it will also be easier to organize and pack when you go out to fly. So instead of always having to bring your backpack, you could grab a smaller shoulder bag, for example, which would be easier to carry around. But this also relates to all other mini drones like the Mini 3, Mini 2 and the Mini drone. But what separates these mini drones is the features they have and old versus new technology. So with the Mini 2, for example, you're limited to 4K 30 FPS and you don't have the D-Log-M color profile or the D-Cine-alike. And there's no omnidirectional sensors either, so if you're a brand new drone pilot, you might find yourself limited due to the lack of sensors. But the Mini 3 Pro, for example, is not really that far off the Mini 4 Pro. It has tri-directional obstacle avoidance sensors, so as a beginner, you would feel more safe flying forward, backwards, up and down. But it still lacks the side sensors, which could limit your creativity. However, we do find the D-Cine-alike color profile in the Mini 3 Pro, which has a similar look to the D-Log-M, not as flat though and with less dynamic range, but you still have the freedom of color correction and grading. But the biggest advantage for the Mini 4 Pro is the features, including the 360 obstacle avoidance sensors, which makes this the safest drone to fly out of all the mini drones. And it also comes with all the Pro features from the bigger drones like the Mavic 3 and the Air 3, so you'll be able to take advantage of features like waypoints, cruise control, advanced active track, and shoot videos in either normal, HLG or D-Log-M 10-bit color profiles. With the Mini 4 Pro, you also have the option to shoot 4K 100 FPS slow motion videos, which makes this the most capable travel drone in my opinion. But the low weight of the Mini 4 Pro can also be a disadvantage because you might hold off when it's windy. Even though the Mini 4 Pro is actually quite capable when it comes to high winds, it's always better to take it safe. So for windy flights, it's probably better to go with something like the Mavic 3 or the Air 3. But this is also where you make your biggest buying decision. In terms of traveling with your drone, if you're heading out for a quick trip to shoot some footage, or if you do a longer hike, for example, or maybe you travel by distance by plane or something, you might not want to have a big heavy drone in your bag. The weight differences between these different drones does not only lay in the drones itself, but also in the additional batteries you bring and the accessories like ND filters and chargers. So with a bigger drone, you will also have larger batteries and accessories. And the Mini 4 Pro has a weight of only 249 grams. And the form factor of the batteries and how small they are, including the weight, is also going to be less than the Mavic 3, for example. So if you bring a bigger drone, that might actually cause some problems if you want to pack as light as possible. Or if you travel by plane, for example, you will have a weight limit to your carry-on, which varies between 5 and 12 kilograms. And for me, when I go on trips, whether this is just a day trip or overseas, I always bring a drone, whether I fly it or not. And if I'm gonna bring a bigger drone, it will only add unnecessary weight that I need to carry around anyway, even if I use the drone or not. And another benefit with the Mini 4 Pro is that this is a 249 gram drone. So depending on which country you travel to, you might be limited to what drone you can fly. So it's important to do some research before you go. But having a sub 250 gram drone will allow you to fly in most countries compared to having a larger drone. And with a larger drone, you might also have to go through an application process depending on the country you're traveling to in order to fly your drone legally, which is something to think about. And another major benefit with the Mini 4 Pro is how quiet this is compared to bigger drones. So because the Mini 4 Pro is such a small, silent drone, it will draw less attention, which will make your flight experience much better and also safer because you can keep your eyes on the controller and the environment around the area of where you fly. And there will always be people out there, no matter where you fly, that will just hate you because you fly a drone. So the advantage of the Mini 4 Pro is the low noise level, which will lower the risk of encountering these people. And for a lot of people, including myself, the price is a huge factor. I think we all want to get the best bang for the buck, and I also bought the Mini 4 Pro with my own money, so this was not sent to me by DJI. But what makes this drone so popular is the slightly more affordable price compared to something like the Air 3 and the Mavic 3 Classic, for example, especially when it comes to what you get for the price you pay. After all, this is a fully stacked Mini 4 Pro drone, and it has all the same features you'll find in the bigger drones, but it also has true vertical videos, which is only available on the Mini 3 and the Mini 4 drones. With the more expensive drones, you will have to crop in or scale the footage before posting it on social media. So if you're already uploading a lot of content to Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube Shorts, for example, and you want to add a drone to your arsenal, the Mini 4 Pro would be the drone to get. And when it comes to image quality, the image coming from the Mini 4 Pro is outstanding, but you will see a slightly better image from the Air 3 and even better from the Mavic 3 Pro. But I've been flying this in a lot of different places the past few months, both in cold and warm temperatures, and the overall experience I've had truly outweighs the image quality coming from the larger drones. And if I should pick a drone right now, I would probably base that on how and where I want to fly. So I usually fly with an altitude of 50 to 90 meters, sometimes lower, and when I'm out flying, whether this is here at home or in a different country, I want the flight experience and the whole process around it to go as smooth as possible without having to go through an application process for each flight, which you might find in some countries. I also do respect people's privacy, so sound is a huge factor. And when it comes to where I fly, I prefer remote locations with untouched nature and also the coast. And I've never experienced any issues with the Mini 4 Pro, which has made me think twice about my flight or made me consider flying the Mavic 3 Classic instead. So based on the total experience, if I add the Mini 3 Pro as well, which I've now had for long over a year, and not encounter any issues with either, I would buy the Mini 4 Pro. It has all the features I need when I'm out traveling, and it's the easiest drone to travel with. So there you have my reasons for why I think the Mini 4 Pro is the best travel drone in 2024. If there's any questions you have related to the Mini 4 Pro, make sure to drop them down in the comment section below. And if you found any value in today's video, let me know by dropping a like and also hit that subscribe button. So which drone is your favorite drone in 2024? Let me know in the comments below.